Hi and welcome to episode 79 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This Reportage and This Reportage family, and I'm a photographer too. It was an absolute pleasure to chat to the fab Fille Roelants today. One of the best wedding photographers in Belgium, Fille was recently ranked 13th in the world on This Reportage for 2020, with 10 Reportage Awards and 2 Story Awards won in the year. I briefly met him at Doc Day, the documentary wedding photography conference that TIR has partnered with, and it was great to be able to properly talk to him for the podcast. Stick with us as Fille shares all about how he graduated as a pharmacist and his journey from that to photography, living abroad for a while, the story behind one of his incredibly emotional Story Awards, photographing Wales, why Belgium has such a wealth of photography talent, his top tips for better documentary coverage, our Netflix synopsis game, canapes, and so much more. Hey Fille, how you doing?
Hi Alan, I'm great. How are you?
Yes, I'm really good. Thank you. Yeah, really good. It is really nice to finally talk to you.
Finally. It has been a while since you asked me the first time, right? We've just been talking about it, like since August last year, I think.
I can't
was the
believe
first
that.
time. Yeah.
And we've just had to reschedule for loads of different reasons, haven't we? It's been funny.
Yeah. I was just
One of those.
I was hoping to be like a magic number now, but like 100 or something. But
I think if we'd done it when we initially asked, you might have been something like number 50 or something. But now you're going to be 79.
I should have postponed once more. I waited until 100 or something.
Although 79's got a good ring to it. 79.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we rescheduled is that you went on a massive trip for months away, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been living abroad actually. I like to call it that way because I haven't been traveling there much. I've been sitting at the same spot for for 2-3 months.
Where did you go?
To Mexico.
Wow.
Mexico and then a bit of Guatemala as well at the end. I've been sitting out COVID there. Most of my assignments have been postponed, and a friend of mine was living there, and he was like, "Hey Phil, why don't you come over here?" And I was like, "Can you travel to Mexico?" That was like halfway January, and you could just travel there. And only 10 days later, there were travel restrictions. But I didn't really want to travel during COVID times. I mean, I did have COVID end of October.
Oh yeah, you had it. That was another reason I think we postponed.
That was another reason.
That's a good reason. Oh man, what was that? What was it like? I don't think I've actually spoken to someone who's had it. What was it like?
It was quite okay actually. The first 3 nights I've been quite sweaty in my bed, but during the day I didn't have a raised temperature at all.
Right.
Actually, from my vaccine, I had a higher temperature, to be honest, which is weird. But
do you know how you got it at all? I guess you don't know.
Yeah, that's my pharmacy diploma.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to have it earlier or something. I didn't want to feel special because I haven't been practicing that job anymore since 5 years. But I just got a letter in my inbox, and I couldn't really give it to someone else and then get mine later or something. So that just happened. Yeah, but it's better for anyone anyway to get vaccines and then.
Definitely. Yeah,
we can clearly see in Belgium how it's how the numbers are going down since the vaccination has started. So yeah.
Oh, it's good, isn't it? And in the UK, we're lucky. We're having a high vaccine uptake, and fingers crossed. We're supposed to have no restrictions from June 21st. Fingers crossed, but I don't know if that'll happen.
June 21st, no restrictions at all.
That's what's supposed to be. Yeah, supposed to.
Oh, okay. Like the 9th of June. We can have the cafes can open the insides and for people again. Now they can only sit at the terrace outside because it's ventilated and stuff. But
okay, as restaurants inside opened on 27th of May, so. No, it's the 28th of May today, isn't it? No, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was the 17th of May, I think. 17th of May. So we went out for my dad's 80th birthday to a restaurant, which was nice to do. Mm. Yeah. So do you know how you got COVID? Do you know how that happened?
I have no idea. I think it must have been from shooting an assignment or something. I've been shooting some assignments. Okay, everything with face masks and everything, but I have no idea. And actually, most people that I encountered that had it don't have a clue either.
Ugh, that's a scary side of it, isn't it? That is.
Yeah, it's invisible, and you you never know where you got it, right? Yeah,
That's true.
all
So
good, all good.
what was it like in Mexico then? Did you have a good time?
I did have a great time, actually. It was good to escape dreary old Belgium in winter. I never really liked the air in winter anyway. I've been thinking this the last years, like maybe I should just go abroad for a few months, and because we are working really hard in summertime always, don't we?
That's so true. They deserve a good break.
Yeah, as wedding photographers, we're usually busy between May and October, like every day of the week almost. So I don't mind being abroad for a few months. And yeah, Mexico has been great. It was 35 degrees Celsius there.
Wow, that's a bit nicer than Belgium's weather, I imagine. Then.
Yeah, and I've been sitting at the coast side, at the Pacific side, and everything was open. I mean, there were no windows in most places. So yeah, that was there's a smaller chance for COVID to spread anyway. And
right, yeah. And you were staying with your friend all that time?
Yeah, I've been staying with a friend.
Did he not get really sick of you, like after like a week?
Well, we've been making new friends as well, of course. Yeah, we had a great time there. It was super nice. I've been photographing whales. I've been doing a little project about that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the whales are migrating from. They're coming there to breed and to reproduce, and they're just feeding there. And then at the end of the season, end of March, they go back to Alaska. So they're just swimming by there. You can just sit at the beach and look. Hey, look, there's a whale.
Oh man, that must be so cool. I've never seen a whale before. That must be.
Oh, it's amazing. And yeah, then I would just get my drone sometimes and fly over and capture them. Really cool.
Oh, cool. What are you going to do with those? Have you got a plan with those images? What are you going to do with those? Or?
Well, actually, I think I might do an exhibition about them, but I think I have to go back because now I've been looking. I've been chasing them. Sounds weird. I've been looking out for them like hours straight to get the best images. Mm-hmm. I went with the captain on a little boat to capture them, capture their fins and everything. There's nothing much you can see besides the back and the fin usually. Mm-hmm. Unless they start jumping, which is what happened to me like the first boat trip I did.
Oh, wow.
Out there, and suddenly I see them playing with each other, like slapping their fins on the water, and then suddenly we saw this big one jumping up and and landing on the water surface. It's amazing. It's like a down whale, or 15 meters long at least, and then the splash it's just humongous. It's crazy. It's one of the craziest things.
That's super cool. That must have been amazing to experience. Yeah, that's really cool.
It was amazing. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, I look forward to seeing some of those images then. That's
cool.
Very cool. You're not tempted to, like, when you're out there, you're thinking like, how can I get a bride and groom with this whale as well on the same shot?
I'll just put a bride and groom on top of it, and then
stay still.
It was something else. I actually shared one of those photos on my other Instagram, on my travel Instagram. And I said something like, "This is a family of whales I'm shooting now. It's not a regular family as usual, but
a bit different family photography."
This baby whale swimming next to its mother, and then a chaperone right next to it. It's not the dad apparently, so it's an extra male that's protecting the baby whale from killer whales. Actually,
oh wow!
They try to separate the baby from the mom and to have a good dinner, but that's how it works.
That's cool. I love the way people can tune in to this podcast expecting it to be about kind of weddings and photography, and we're talking about whales. I love it. I love that. It's great.
Well, the last months haven't been much of I haven't been much wedding opportunities, have there? I don't know if you have shot many the last month or the last year.
I shot 2 weddings in the whole of 2020. Only 2. Yeah.
2 weddings. Wow.
How about you?
I've been shooting like 8 or 9, I think. Smaller, obviously. Usually like 30 people or something like that, depending on the restrictions at that time. But not the big ones like usually, not like 200, 300 people.
No. What's it looking like in Belgium, for the months ahead now? When are you able to shoot weddings with, 100 people? Do you know?
Actually, I have no idea when we can shoot weddings that big. Yeah, I know June 9th, some other restrictions are getting better, but I'm not sure. I think, like 200 people, I can't really imagine that right now. They're saying some festivals will happen at the end of August, but I just want to see it. I'm not too sure when it's all going to happen.
That's it, isn't it? You can't believe it until it actually happens because things.
Yeah, and with all the varieties of the viruses popping up, I just hope the vaccines will work against all the new varieties. And
and they have so far as we know, haven't they? And this, because in the UK they're concerned about this Indian variant, but they've said with two doses of the vaccine, it's really, really effective even against this variant. So I mean, that's all good. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. And the one vaccine is maybe better than the other one, but we just have to. It just works better if we all take it, or at least 70% to get the group immunity, or how do you call it?
I think we call it herd immunity over here.
Oh yeah, herd immunity. Yeah.
Makes sense. But if you're eligible, get it. I felt. The next day after I had my first jab, I was a little bit felt like I had a slight cold, but that was it really for me. After that, I was totally fine.
Okay, just a cold, yeah. Some people get really sick from it, and some people just don't feel a thing. Depends on your,
but I was lucky that way.
Yeah.
Let's go to your photography for a bit though as well, because you were ranked. I wanted to congratulate you for this for ages, but we're just talking now. But you were ranked 13th in the world on this reportage for 2020.
That's right.
Man. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Actually, before the last round, I think I was ranked like 6th or something. And
really?
Happened. Yeah. Well, I'm not too good in the story awards, and I should be putting more time into that, but for some reason, I don't know, it's not my thing.
Oh no, man, you're so good. But it's funny because I'll ask you later about one of your specific story awards. But you won like 10 Reportage Awards and 2 story awards in that year, which is amazing, man. Just to win 1 award is amazing, but 12 in total was so good.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
you're so good, dude. So I'm going to put you on the spot now. We're going to go with start. Put you on the spot. What are your top tips for getting better at the documentary side of what we do? Because you're so good, ranked 13th in the world. What's your advice if someone wants to, be really good at the documentary side?
Well, I really do consider myself as a hybrid. Like, I'm not a pure documentary photographer, I would say. I'm like a hybrid between that, and I also like the beautiful imagery and eye candy, as we call it, but top tips for this kind of photography is like waiting. Observing and waiting is usually the best tip. I can't say I'm always that good at it because I also have the shiny red ball syndrome sometimes. I can't do have the feeling that sometimes I want to capture this over there, and then and then I see something else, and then I'm over there.
That's so natural to feel like that, isn't it? It's hard to fight that sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard to fight that. But I think if you have like a lot of experience as a second shooter, maybe you can wait it out more. Then I've always shot alone, actually, from the beginning on. I only second shot of once, actually, if I recall correctly, and I've shot like 150 weddings solo.
Okay, yes, really same for me. I've only second shot once, and I've shot all the rest of my weddings. I shoot solo as well, actually.
Yeah, so then you feel like you're obligated to follow the bride and groom and like the bridal suite like all day and stay around them because you don't want to miss one of those moments, which is
that's true. It probably is easier to get the more kind of in between moments when you have 2 of you, possibly. Yeah, are you tempted to have a second shooter going forwards?
Well, I did have a second shooter with me a few times, like maybe 5 times in total. Yeah, like Sana went along a few times.
It's not a bad second photographer. It's pretty good.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the best out there. So Yeah, that was great. But I see her shooting differently than me. She's like hiding in a bush somewhere. It's quite funny sometimes. I have a whole series of
Yeah,
her
have you got photos of her hiding in bushes?
Oh yeah. Like hiding in a bush because she can get a better angle. She's lying on the ground somewhere. She's like a ninja, hanging in the
Cool.
tree. It's quite funny.
Are you not tempted to fully go with a second shooter, or do you like shooting on your own? I like shooting on my own, to be honest. I do enjoy it. So.
I like to shoot on my own, but I don't know. In Belgium, it's maybe not a custom, not really a thing to always do that. Maybe it's a budgetary thing. I don't know. Usually, couples don't have the budget to hire a second photographer, I guess. But
right, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it depends on. I mean, in America, they do it all the time. I think. No.
Yeah, I think
UK,
it is.
I don't know.
I think it's quite often in the UK, but maybe it's kind of split. It's probably, I don't know the exact figures, but I imagine it's probably slightly more solo shooters, but there are a lot of second shooters as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. It is interesting. And you mentioned Sana there, and I was going to ask anyway. What do they put in the water in Belgium? Because you Belgians you're just so good. You as a group, as a country, you've won so many awards. The work is so good. Is there like a secret documentary wedding photography university that you all attend?
That's quite funny. Yeah, I don't know how it started. Actually, I think some people. Got better, and then we're all friends, and then it's like contagious, maybe, and we all want to surpass each other, maybe, and get that, or learn from each other, not surpass. It sounds really competitive. I think we're a good community here, and we all get along really well. And I don't know. Some of us also did the foundation workshop a few years ago, and I don't know. It's like we're learning from each other, and we're looking at each other's work, and we see that's working well. And
that's cool. Was it before COVID? Did you often meet up, with other Belgian photographers during the season? Just at the pub and stuff. Is it that friendly?
We might meet up like in the garden somewhere, in someone's garden, or in the pub, or go on a road trip even to England and Ireland, when with Sophie and Sana and Eve, we all went on the road trip together as well. We like to meet up when we can. It's obviously not so easy in the high season, but we get along really well. Or for birthdays, for example. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool how kind of close-knit you are. It's just really good. Yeah, and I forgot you mentioned that you came over to Doc Day, didn't you? A couple of years. It's almost 2 years now or something. Ridiculous.
Wow, that's so crazy.
I know. That was just before
2020 year didn't exist, right?
I know, it's like that. Yeah, it was just before COVID properly hit, wasn't it? It was only just a few weeks before or something.
Was that February, right?
Yes, it was February, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was crazy. And then 1 month later, I shot my last full wedding, I think, like 6th and 7th of March.
Right, okay.
Just 1 week before COVID started. I'm actually glad I had two in 1 weekend. I usually don't do that. But on that occasion I did.
Is that your last wedding with a proper dance floor and things?
Actually, that weekend I shot the first night a wedding that won a story award. Actually,
oh, cool.
A pretty sad one. You might know it.
Oh, that's what I'm going to ask you about, actually.
Yeah, that one. And then the next day I shot the very last one with a party, actually, and that's been like 1.5 years now. No, almost. Yeah,
it is. That's insane. And my last wedding with a dance floor was January of that year, January 2020. So
wow.
Oh no, I'm not, Philip. I don't think I'm going to remember how to do this job when honestly though, what do we do?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go to school again too. I don't know.
You've got to go back to that secret Belgian documentary university that you all attend.
Yeah.
I think when you're all like 18, you're forced to go to this university.
That would be so cool. Actually, that's maybe a good idea to set a business up there.
Yeah, do it.
Cool here. Yeah.
What was that road trip?
Yeah.
What was that road trip like with was it 4 of you in the car or 5? 4 or 5?
It was 5 actually. I think it was, it was Sophie.
She was on the podcast.
Wouter. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, most of them have been in the podcast.
Yeah, and Eve as well. Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. We had such a great time in the car, like singing along with songs, and it was quite full in the car, to be honest. But it's yeah, you can't imagine that right now. It's like forbidden to do that right now.
Yeah, that's true. It's a different world now, isn't it?
We had such a great time, and yeah,
No, that's cool.
I love to do it again. Actually, if Dog Day is going to happen next year again, which
it should be. It should be happening.
Yeah,
it is going ahead. It's I should know the exact date, shouldn't I? But it's March. It's March next year, I think. Yeah,
March.
Or is it February? Wait a minute. I need to.
I think it was February actually, because 13th of March everything locked down here, and the 6th and the 7th I did this wedding, so I think it must have been end of February.
It's sure. The new date, is February 22nd, 2022. Because that's a nice, easy. I should be able to remember that because it's the second month, 22nd of 2022.
Wow, what a number there!
Yeah, so they've
probably
got
going to be a wedding.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, you won't be able to go, man. You've got to come to Doc Day again. So yeah, Doc Day. Anyone's listening, is so good. It's the brainchild of Kevin Kafash and Annie Kafash, who are both TIR members. So they set this up, and this reportage partners with them. But it was a brilliant thing a couple of years ago, and it's going to be great again. Yeah, you got to come again, man. You're going to come. We're
going to come again for sure. Yeah, I loved it. We loved it. Yeah,
it was.
We're coming back.
It was really fun, wasn't it? Let's change tack slightly, Fille. Yeah. Let's change tack, and then we'll come back to your photography. Do you watch much TV, Netflix, or anything?
Yeah, I've been. I heard you talking about it in some of the last episodes, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm the biggest Netflix watcher.
Okay. What about movies in general? Are you a movie fan?
Movies in general is maybe that's maybe better, but series, I don't know. I think the last series I watched was The Queen's Gambit.
Oh yeah, did you like it?
I liked it so much. Yeah, the cinematography was great. The story was great. Yeah, I loved it. But usually I don't have much time to watch series, I think. And I love just the documentaries, though, like nature documentaries with David Attenborough, this cozy British voice.
Cozy British voice. I like it. Yeah, no, that's true. And a brilliant Netflix documentary, nature one is was it My Octopus Teacher? Have you seen that? Is that what it's called?
I've seen that as well. Yeah, it's great. It started a little funny, but in the end, I really liked it. Yeah,
it's beautiful. That was beautiful. Okay, well, that's good. The ones I've got for you today are not series; they're all movies anyway. So that's probably good.
Ooh, let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see, man. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to read out a synopsis. A couple of these. Oh no, they are all on Netflix. No, one was on Netflix. Anyway, it doesn't matter if they're on Netflix or not. They're the synopses anyway. So, okay, you ready for your first one?
Yeah, go.
Okay, let's do it. So, a family struggles for survival in a world where most humans have been killed by blind but noise-sensitive creatures. They are forced to communicate in sign language to keep the creatures at bay.
Wow, that sounds creepy. I know. Watched it, and I would have remembered that. It sounds like an alien type of thing.
It does. I've never seen it. I want to watch it actually, but it's got Emily Blunt in. I think. Do you know Emily Blunt?
Oh. Now, yeah, I might have watched it on a plane somewhere and then fell asleep.
Well, should I tell you what it is?
Could be. Yeah. Can you tell me?
Okay, yeah, it's A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I'm not
I think
sure
the second one's just coming out in the cinema at the moment. The second, I've not seen it, but it's supposed to be good. Okay, it's a bad start, Fille. It's a bad start, but
it's a bad start. But let's try again for the next one.
Let's go again.
Better luck now.
This one is a much older film, and as a clue, it has also had a remake in the last 5 years. Okay, so that's a clue. But okay. So after getting a memory implant, working stiff Douglas Quaid discovers he might actually be a secret agent embroiled in a violent insurrection on Mars.
Wow.
It's a very sci-fi film. It originally has Arnold Schwarzenegger in the original.
Really? No, I don't think I know it either, to be honest. Sorry, I'm gonna disappoint you again.
Okay, so that's Total Recall.
Total Recall. I know the titles, but I haven't seen it. I never seen
Watch
it.
it, man. That's a classic kind of early.
I actually do have a whole list of movies that I still need to watch, and for some reason I'm never getting to it.
Well, you're a busy man. Busy man.
Yeah, I'm quite busy usually. So yeah. But you know, when I'm retired, I'm gonna watch all of Netflix in once. I don't know.
Well, I do recommend that. It's a classic early 90s kind of art. I like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Total Recall. It sounds very violent or something. I don't know.
It is. Yeah,
it's like a typical action movie, like Terminator style.
It is similar-ish. It's sci-fi like that. Yeah, it's like.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Let's go for your final one, Phil. Let's see if you can get 0 out of 3. Let's see if we can go.
Okay. Okay, let's try.
This one is a more modern movie. Okay, and it's a bit topical because the event that it's based on has happened recently. Okay, that's a clue. Okay. So,
pandemic, yeah.
Oh, it's no. Okay, but here we go. Okay, 2 small town singers chase their pop star dreams at a global music competition where high stakes, scheming rivals, and onstage mishaps test their bond.
Oh, it's not. Is it like a singing movie? Maybe.
It is.
I mean, is it La La Land? Maybe.
Oh no, I love that though. That is a great film. It's based. This movie has been based on a singing competition that happened last week.
The Eurosong Festival.
Yeah. It's a film.
No.
Oh, you're not.
I'm not gonna know because I never watched that again.
Do you not watch Eurovision? I love Eurovision.
Since the age of 10, I've never seen it again. Actually, to be honest,
you're missing out, man. It's so much fun. I love it. It's really fun. Okay, so the film, they did a kind of film, like a comical film that's semi-based on it. It's really good, actually. It's on Netflix with Will Ferrell, and so it's called Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga. It's actually really good. It is really good.
Wow, no, I've never even heard of it, to be honest.
I know, it's a random Netflix-made film, but it's good.
So, okay, I know nothing about movies. Now I know, okay. I'll be working.
That was good, man. 0 out of 3. It's great. I love it. It's good. It's all good. Let's move swiftly on.
Okay, no. When I heard you talk about these movies and series the last episode, I usually knew at least one. Now I know 0. That sounds bad, but okay.
You had some tricky ones. You did have some tricky ones there. You had some tricky ones. You did.
All right.
You mentioned it earlier, and I was going to ask you anyway. So I think, you graduated as a pharmacist. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you tell us your story. How did you go from pharmacy to photography? Did you just get the paha wrong at the beginning? Like you meant to be a pharmacist and you ended up being a photographer. Is that just
Yeah, that's quite a strange jump, isn't it? Well, so I graduated in 2010, which is 11 years ago already. And then I worked as a pharmacist effectively for like 2 or 3 years. But in the meantime, my hobby, photography, was getting more of a side job. Mm-hmm. I've been shooting some festivals in the beginning and some small weddings from people that I knew from the pharmacy studies, like doctors and pharmacists.
Oh, cool.
And they asked me, "Hey, Phil, do you maybe want to shoot our wedding?" And I was like, I don't know. It's quite a big responsibility, isn't it? I need a second camera. I need to learn a bit about it because, I don't know, Instagram wasn't a thing then. Mm-hmm. And when you wanted to make something out of it, you just make it up. There were no many examples at the time like nowadays, and I tried it, and I succeeded in the best way I could at the time. I don't want to look at the images again now.
Are they not on your website? Are they not on your portfolio right now?
Oh no. Actually, the black and white ones are quite okay now. they're
Okay.
timeless, of course. That's why black and white really works for a longer time, I think. But yeah, the colors, it was like these Lightroom filters over it, and no, some vignetting here and there.
I bet the couple must have liked them, though. The couple must have liked them.
Yeah, they were actually very happy with them, and I was quite happy with them at the time. But yeah, we all evolve, we all change, of course. It's not the same anymore. But I've been shooting some festivals then as well, like Tomorrowland. I don't know if you know that. It's a big Belgian festival. Like the whole world is coming there usually in a non-pandemic year at least.
Oh, cool. So like properly, like what do you have like, were you in the pit for the bands and stuff or?
Yeah, it's an electronic music festival. So
okay.
But yeah, you should look it up. It's like the most extravagant festival. Fireworks, lasers everywhere.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
and I sometimes get to sit in a helicopter over the fireworks at night.
Oh, really? Wow, that is cool.
That is really crazy to see. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, so I've been shooting festivals and weddings since then.
Okay.
That must have been since 2012 or something.
Right, quite a long time. Yeah, quite a long time.
And yeah, in the meantime, I got more and more assignments, more weddings, and in the end, it's really hard to combine the both jobs. And then I thought I might as well just be a photographer full time now. And I never really said like, okay, now I'm going to quit the pharmacy. It just organically happened. There was just no time anymore to combine it, and yeah, here we are.
Yeah, and doing such a brilliant job of it, man. Doing such a brilliant job. When you did quit the pharmacy, was that because you had a certain number of weddings, booked in for the following year? So you knew it was a good time to quit, or what was the actual point where you did quit?
Well, the actual point, at the time, I've been shooting like 20 weddings a year already, I think, or 23 maybe. And
whilst also doing the pharmacy as well.
Yeah, well, I did it like replacements. Like when somebody was having a baby or something, they were out for 3 months, and I would replace them. And this last time I did it was at the end of the photo season, so that was like. I still had some weddings to process, and then I had to be at the pharmacy every day from 9 till 6:30. Then I got home, I ate, and I edited photos for 3 months straight. That was so much at the time, and yeah, then I thought, okay, this is the last time I'm doing this, or at least in this period of time, because it was that was too much.
That is far too much. Yeah, that's far too. Were you nervous about stopping the pharmacy, or did you think that if it never worked out with weddings, is it quite easy to get back into that as well?
It's probably quite easy for me to get back there because the people are still asking me to come back.
Oh wow! Yeah, I guess it's a time where you're in need even more, probably.
Yeah, I mean the amount of pharmacists is not that high in Belgium, and they still need pharmacists. There always has to be one pharmacist in every pharmacy, and if they go on a holiday, they just need someone to be there to take the responsibility, because you also have pharmacy assistants, but they cannot be alone in a pharmacy, although most of the time they can usually manage, but just law-wise, I mean, they can be alone in there. So I could go back if I wanted to, but it's the burden's getting bigger each year, It's been 5 years now, and I don't know. I could have done it in the last years, but in the last year, I mean, during the pandemic, but just the thought of it didn't really make me super happy anymore.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, he left for a reason, definitely. Did you ever, because Simon Leclerc is a doctor, did you ever, when you were a pharmacist, were you ever working together?
No. We never heard about each other, but we live in a different part of the country as well, and we never knew about each other before that. But yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah. For him, it was he has been doing it since the last years anyway. He never really quit and then had to go back. I think it's been just a few months since he left being a doctor, and then he just could go back quite easily. For me, it was like 5 years ago. So the burden's just too high to get back into it, I guess. I don't know. If I want to, I can always go back, but
and you're not going to need to anyway. Weddings are going to come back, man. Weddings are going to come back. It's all good. It's all good. And
I believe in it.
And one thing I was going to ask you about, and you mentioned it earlier, which I think you said is one of your final weddings, then that you shot full weddings, and it's one of your story awards. And it's incredibly powerful, man. It actually had me literally in tears looking at it, and obviously I don't know the story about it, but just the way you've captured it as well is just so beautiful. So I think, is it a story? Is it the bride's dad at the wedding who's really really
It's the
ill?
bride's dad. Yeah. So what happened was in January of 2020, I got a call from a friend, and she said, "Hey Phil, the dad of one of my best friends is terminally ill. They just discovered that he had a spinal tumor, I think,
Sure.
the tumor on the between the and the spinal cord,
Right.
and he suddenly couldn't walk anymore. That's how he knew, because he was still working actually at weddings as a caterer, as the head of the catering.
Oh,
He
really?
was
Wow.
like seven, I think it was already 7 years or something, but he was still working. He could still work. He loved his job, and I actually encountered him once at a wedding, and we got along really well.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
and I
Well,
remember that.
that's
Yeah.
gosh.
And and they asked me like, when are you free in the upcoming months? Because we want to get married, and we still want to see. He still wants to see us getting married.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really, I got shivers just by hearing that.
Yeah.
So he and the caterer, we all told her free Saturdays.
Mhm.
And then they picked a date, which was the 6th of March. That was the first free date for all of us. And
Wow.
I shot the wedding, and he recognized me. He was sitting in a wheelchair at the time. And it was so beautiful to capture. And I really felt the importance of photography at the time. Extra hard, of course, because this last day for him was, I mean, this was going to be his last party. Everybody knew that.
Oh, man.
And
Was it emotional for you capturing it? I can't, was it difficult?
Yeah, it was very emotional, but I could keep myself strong to just by the thought of thinking like, this is very important. I want to capture this in the very best way that I can, just to give them a very good memory of how the day was. And it was quite emotional for me, actually, and especially also in the weeks after. I processed this wedding like within a week or so, because I knew time was ticking so fast. And he actually passed away the 5th of April, so just 1 month after.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
man. Oh, it's hard to. It's amazing. Oh, it's just. I didn't know the story as well. And it's just so powerful from those images that you captured. You captured it so beautifully, man, because you captured so much joy as well as there being obviously that kind of that sadness. But you did such an extraordinary job. It is brilliant.
Yeah, thank you so. Actually, that's a coincidence. But yesterday I went to visit them. They had a baby now, and
Oh, wow.
I did a little baby photo shoot with all of them.
Oh.
And it's the baby was almost born on the birthday of the dad, actually, as well. So it's
man,
that's really crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that is crazy.
it was very emotional. Yeah, but they're so grateful for the photos. And
Oh,
it
amazing,
was also
man. You did a brilliant job.
So much.
Brilliant job. Were there two different ceremonies on the day, or because from the story?
We do that in Belgium. We do that. We have like we always get married in the town hall. You don't have to do that on the same day, but a lot of couples still do it.
Okay.
And so in the town hall, you get officially married. That only takes like 15 minutes. In that part of the day, the dad stayed at home just to rest a little bit more.
Right.
Because you might have seen the photo where he's like looking through the phone,
camera phone, isn't it? Yeah.
Through the camera phone, and you see him lying in the bed at home, and then everybody's waving at him as well.
Yeah.
And then at the later in church, I mean, he was there. He especially wanted to see that part, and then he was there in church with tears in his eyes. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But
And then you've got a shot at the end of him going away in an ambulance, wasn't it? And it's
that looks very dramatic, right? I mean, it's actually beautiful. The bride told me yesterday when I saw her, like, we actually think this is a very beautiful moment as well, because they all thought he was gonna go home at around 8 or 9 in the evening, because he was so tired from all the chemo and everything.
Mhm.
And he actually managed to stay there and awake until 11.
Wow.
It was 11 in the evening, and this ambulance was actually a service. It was like a wishing ambulance, literally translated. So this was an ambulance that they just took care of him all day, just to see if he was okay, just to pamper him a little bit, just to watch out for him, and if there was any specific medical needs, they would provide it for him. And it's like a visit. How do you say that in English? It's like a non-profit organization. Actually.
Oh, okay, right.
It's so beautiful. I think I'm still gonna make a profit for them just by selling some prints and give it to them.
Oh, that's a really lovely idea.
So that was just his ride home, and the bride hugs him in his ambulance, and with the rain, it looks very dramatic, I know, but it was a very beautiful moment. And
and you captured it beautifully.
Thank you. And I knew this was the last time I was gonna see him, and that made it very emotional for me as well. And
I bet, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, just thank you for talking about. No, I mean, I asked you about it. Thank you for talking about it. I think it's just you did an amazingly beautiful job. Those images are going to be absolutely cherished. It's just brilliant. Anyone's listening now, do head to thisreportage.com, and I'll include that story award there in full, so you can look at it. It's brilliant work. It is, man. It's brilliant work. Let's change tack again. Slightly. Let's change tack. Sorry, it's beautiful hearing you talk about that as well, though. But it's cool.
I've had difficulties talking about it, because I think you asked me like a while ago to write the story, and it was hard for me as well to just type it down, actually, to be honest. So
I can imagine.
For me now, after all this time, you can cope with it, of course, and everybody moves on. But if you hear the first time the story, I can imagine it's quite powerful. And it still is. But I'm really glad I have all these images for them.
Yes, they must be so happy. And it's wonderful you saw them, and they've had a child as well. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But then bittersweet as well that the dad obviously not been able to. Anyway. Let's change. Let's change.
Okay.
Fille, so you mentioned how you used to photograph festivals as well. So I guess you must be quite into your music. Is that right? You into music?
I love music. Yeah, I'm really a music person. I have good speakers at home in every room.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay.
I listen to music all the time. Yeah.
So if you were cast away on a desert island, so this question is obviously a rip-off because there's a very famous podcast or BBC series called Desert Island Discs, but I'm just going to ask you anyway. If you were cast away on a desert island, what one album would you take with you if you could only choose one?
Wow, that's a difficult question. You were talking about desert what?
A desert island. Like a deserted island, so it was only you on the island.
The funny thing is, I have one specific song. That's my most listened song, at least. It's not a whole album.
Okay, well, tell us that. That's cool.
It is called Desert Days.
Oh, that's funny. Now, who's that by?
What a coincidence.
That is a coincidence.
So, this song, Desert Days, is just my most listened song on Spotify. It's from Sonny. It's not too famous. It's not famous at all, but I just heard the song somewhere, Shazammed it, and since then I've been playing it all the time.
Okay. What kind of music? I love the way Shazammed it. That's cool. Shazammed it. I've not used that in years. Is it still around, that Shazam thing?
Oh, I use it like every week, every day almost.
I'll see you. Yeah.
When I hear a beautiful song in a movie or in a series or wherever, or in the store, I'll just bring my phone to the speaker in the store, or at a party. Yeah, like everywhere, I Shazam all the time, and
that's cool. It's a cool thing, isn't it? Or if anyone's never used it before, you record a little audio clip of the music that's playing, and it tells you what it is, doesn't it? It's
actually, I think one of the founders even of Shazam is Belgium. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's
cool.
crazy. But a whole album, it's hard to say, because I don't know. I don't think there's like one artist standing out there with this one album that I just love the most. I don't know. I love so many songs. It's really hard to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, especially these days as well. People are more likely to want to take a Spotify playlist, I think, rather than, I think less people listen to whole albums back to back these days now.
Yeah. It used to be like that with all the discography, like all the records and the CDs and the vinyl. It is one album always, like. And now I have all these playlists. I make a new playlist every month, and then I have a playlist to work out or to, I don't know. There's a playlist for everything.
Yeah. Do you listen to music whilst you edit?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
You see, I can't do that. You know, I just can't. I find I can't. I wish I could. I just can't concentrate on two things at once. I think I have a very limited brain. My brain is very limited. You know.
Well, I couldn't listen to music and study when I was studying pharmacy, because I would be easily distracted and sing along and going into the vibe of the music. But when I'm editing, it's more of a visual thing, no? It's not like
no, I totally get it.
It's not like storing new info for me, and then it works for me. It's when I was doing like exercise, like mathematics exercise, I could listen to music, because then I'm processing the things I know already. But when I need to store new info, I couldn't. I don't know. Yeah, everybody's brain is a little different, I guess. Right?
Mine's just limited. Mine is limited. Phil, has there ever been an occasion where you've been really, really embarrassed at a wedding or otherwise? Can you think of a time when you've been really embarrassed?
Oh, that's one of these questions where my mind goes numb, and then I don't know anything. And if we hang up, I'm gonna think of 10 things. Embarrassed. Well, I never ripped my pants or anything, if that's what you're...
that's kind of... that would be good.
But that would have been one of it, but I never ripped my pants, fortunately.
No, not me. That's not happened to me. Touch wood. We don't want that to happen. I just remembered one for me. I was because I totally forgot about this actually, but I was photographing a ceremony, and obviously very quiet. I was right at the front. It was a church wedding. I was right at the front nearby, and I started to get a proper kind of like coughing fit. This was years ago. This is before COVID and stuff. But I had that little kind of tickle cough that I just couldn't, and it kept getting worse and worse, and then I was trying to stop it, and I was like tears streaming down my face. And it's during the ceremony. It's awful. Someone from the choir came and brought me a glass of water. It was really embarrassing. Yeah, that was really embarrassing.
The whole church was looking at you, and
honestly, it's when you know that you can't cough, it makes you kind of want to cough more as well. It is awful.
It's like coughing in a supermarket right now. It's like everybody's gonna look at you like, oh my god,
that's true. That's true, isn't it? That's true. So you've had COVID and you've been vaccinated, so you're like mega immune now then, aren't you? I guess
I got immune. Let's hope. It's not to get my second shot though, but next week actually. They say like the second experience with COVID, if it's like your first vaccine after COVID, it's like the worst symptoms. I don't know if it's true. We'll see what happens next week. I'll let you know. But,
yes, let me know. We'll do an update. Okay, let's go off the embarrassing one. Let's go off the embarrassing one anyway. Okay, let's go to this one. I like this question, Phila. That's probably a hard question, but can you think of a certain photo that you've taken that's had some kind of lasting impact? Perhaps that impact has been on your career or your confidence or your direction, or just an image that you've taken that's just like particularly memorable to you?
Well, now that the last wedding we've been talking about is still in my head, I have to think about this wedding, the one with the dad. And I think that maybe made me realize how important photography can be sometimes for people. And it's like... you're catching memories for a lifetime, you know.
That's so true.
So I don't know. I see my work as a mix between funny moments, long-lasting captivating moments. I mean, emotions. I don't know. It's hard, but I like the photos where there's a lot of emotion in the photo. But on the other end, I also like humor. So it's really hard for me to pick just one again. But this wedding has had the most impact on me as a photographer, I think. If I had to choose one wedding, yeah.
I totally understand that. Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Why for you specifically, why did you become a photographer in the first place? Was it because, you love capturing people? Was it, what was it that drew you to actually really want to be a photographer?
Good question. I just bought this point and shoot camera, this little compact camera, when I was studying pharmacy. I think it was my second or third year. I just wanted to capture the parties, and I was also doing some snowboard jumps indoor. I just wanted to capture those as well. I don't know. And then I was looking at, nice sunset over there. That's how it all started. Yeah, we didn't have like cell phones with cameras in there yet. So I think it started like that. And then with shadows and nice light. And then I was photographing like a mushroom in the garden. Yeah, that's how it started.
Had you, growing up, had you always been kind of creative, because it is a proper creative outlet. Had you been a creative as a kid?
I think I was quite creative. I was pretty good at drawing, but that's something completely different.
I just think because it's quite funny because pharmacy, your education that you were going towards, pharmacy, you wouldn't say is maybe particularly creative. I don't know anything about it, but
oh, now let's just mingle this and this and see what happens. No, yeah, like that, of course.
Oh yeah.
It's completely different. That's true. I was a creative kid, I think. Yeah, just in about everything I did. I had an imaginary. A good how do you say that? Good imagination. But how did I end up there? Yeah, I don't know. I just started studying, and I was quite good at chemistry and physics and biology, and then I just followed that path, even though I knew it was not really my passion. I just went on with it because what do you want to study when you're 18? You don't know. Most people just don't know, I think, right?
Oh, totally.
I don't know. What did you study, actually?
Oh, I did English. Yeah.
You did English. Okay. Yeah, you're quite good at it.
You're better than me. How did you speak such great English, man? It's so amazing. It's so much respect. It's so cool.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Well, yeah, thank you so much. It's it's just because of all the movies and songs, I think, that you don't listen to Dutch songs, I suppose, or Dutch movies.
Not so often, no.
If you would do that every day, I think it will help your Dutch as well. But
maybe. No, it's just so interesting hearing about how you got into photography as well. And I'm just thinking back to me as well. I got a camera because I loved capturing my friends. I think really that's how it began with me. And then that's how it began. I remember, but like you, like loving like sunsets, and we were on holiday in Greece on a lad's holiday, and I was capturing the sunrise. It was so beautiful. It was amazing. And then our apartment got broken into, and that camera got stolen. So I don't have any of those photos. So that's.
Oh wow! Oh, that really sucks. Yeah. Well, actually, the first camera I got, like this point and shoot, it got stolen as well in the place where I did this. Yeah, where I did these snowboard jumps, and actually, I've been putting papers everywhere. Like, have you seen this camera? No one's gonna return it. But I was just hoping it was gonna happen. And then I bought it again, the exact same point and shoot camera, a little Pentax. And it was like 400 euros back then. It was a lot of money for me as well, as a student. And I was wondering, like, if I didn't buy this camera again, would I have ever gotten a photographer? You don't know, right? And
that's so true. Yeah, I love thinking about that type of thing.
I don't know. Yeah, but I've always been looking at light a little different too. To answer your previous question, I've always looked at light and to shadows and contrast. I always looked at it more than other people, I think, in my environment. And I think I've always had a knack for it or something. And then you discover it. I was really fascinated by how the reality transformed into pixels on my screen, and then I wanted to capture everything I saw in the best way possible. And then you learn, there's numbers here. What are these numbers? Shutter speeds, aperture,
Mm.
ISO. It's like, it looks like Chinese in the beginning, of course. And then and then I learned a little bit about the technical stuff. And then,
Yeah,
you
because you
just
must have
follow
been
your
pretty
gut, right?
technical. You must have been pretty technical with your scientific knowledge as well.
The physics part of it, okay, maybe, but that doesn't make a good photographer, of
No,
course. I mean,
no, of course. Yeah, no.
like the numbers of aperture. Do you know where it comes from? It's like,
Yeah,
it's pure technical, physical stuff, of course. But I don't know. It's you follow your gut most of the time, no? That's
yeah, it's good to do,
how we
man.
roll into it.
Good to do,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it's awesome. And one of your specific reportage awards, man, that I really like, is of it's like a boy, and he looks like he's trying to blow out the candle. I think, like during this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool shot. Can you tell us more about that one? How you took it?
Well, it's simple as that. I was just,
That's it.
photographing. I was just photographing the mom, and I've seen these boys. They're a little naughty, and they're always trying to do something naughty, and I just recognize myself in it as a kid.
Yeah.
My mom's always telling, like, when we went to the supermarket, she turned her back on us like for 2 seconds, and we were climbing up the racks in the supermarket for the highest possible. Like, we wanted to surpass each other in that. Yeah. So these boys, I saw them in church, and I was like, they're gonna do something. I know it. And kids at weddings are always a gold mine, you know. You know that, right?
Yeah, I love
they always get good photo opportunities. And I was just observing him, and I see him like, I have to stand here while my mom is doing a speech. I'm gonna do something else, and just gonna try to blow out that candle over there. There's also a story about this. I was just coming from a funeral, like 1 hour before I was at a funeral.
Oh gosh.
So the getting ready part of this wedding, I didn't shoot.
Right.
I gave it to Sana.
Right.
And then, I was still in this funeral vibe, of course, with my head. And I came to church, and then I see this stuff happening, and that cheered me up instantly, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny, and it just also shows, how life is. It's one time it's super sad, and then it's silly and funny again, and I love that, actually. And this little kid, he brightened up my day for sure, and the wedding, of course, as well. But it was like just 1 hour in between, so going from that to that,
Gosh, man, that must have been really difficult to do. It must have been so difficult to go from that. Wow.
It was, I didn't really have a choice. I didn't want to cancel the whole wedding, you know.
Of course, of course, yeah. Did he manage to blow out the candle?
No. No. I was actually hoping, come on, man, you can do it. You can do it. But, he never did. Yeah, but there's quite a distance. It's like 1 meter in between us.
He must have been blowing really hard to do that.
His cheeks are like all blown up from the tension. It's quite funny.
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
Sorry, I have to disappoint you there.
No, he didn't blow it out. That's fine. No, but I love it. It's so good. And as you say, kids at weddings are so fun. You just never know what they're going to do. You never know what they're going to do. So that's very cool.
Always keep an eye on them, and it's always gold when you end up. I've been looking at my awards actually the last time, and I was like, almost half of my awards are with kids in them. I've noticed.
That's cool. Yeah. Have you got that? One of yours is that one where it's like a big vase obstructing like the girl's head, isn't it? That's like.
Oh yeah. That was one of my first, I think. This is reportage.
Did you see? Is that an image that you saw at the time when you were capturing it? You know, I'm going to capture this because I know that it's going to look like her head, or is it an image that you kind of find later in the edit and think this could really work?
I know. I've been really working on this one, actually. So the thing that happened was this. Actually, I just came back from my foundation workshop where you learn to shoot in a more reportage way.
Oh, cool.
And this was the first wedding I've shot after that. And then at the wedding, I think the stepmom of the bride was doing the flowers. And I was shooting super reportage. I was waiting in corners and waiting for everything to happen in one frame. And then she comes to me, hey, can you give me a lot of photos of the flowers, please? And I was like, damn, I don't really like to shoot like flowers, just flowers. I mean, I will take a photo of the bridal bouquet and some flowers somewhere, but I'm not gonna do a whole shoot about the flowers, you know?
Yeah.
But okay, I thought, okay, I'll just take this photo of this flower down the stairs there, near the toilets, and then I see these kids playing, and maybe some photographers would think, kids, get out of the way, I have to shoot these flowers. But I was like, I see an opportunity here. And I was just waiting there for like 5 minutes, I think, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, please pass that bouquet so your head becomes a flower bouquet. And eventually it happened. So
that's cool, man.
So sometimes you just have to wait it out, and so I got a picture of the flowers, but with a human below it as well. But I love it.
Oh, that's cool. It's so interesting hearing your thoughts behind that as well, and how you captured it. And that's great that it's proper, purposeful capture of it. It's all awesome, man. It's so cool. It's so cool. When you were at Foundation, who were your kind of mentors there?
Kirsten Lewis.
Oh yeah, cool.
You know her, and Craig Fitz. Yeah, I forgot his full name, but Craig.
Was that a good experience doing Foundation? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it really opened up my eyes and shoot better as a documentary photographer. Anyway, for sure. And it's in Texas, so it's quite a journey as well to get there. And
I bet you couldn't do a road trip for that. Couldn't do a road trip to Texas.
Yeah, no, it was quite hard to get there. But and Joshua Dobb was there as well.
Oh, cool.
She was photographing the photographers actually at their assignments. And,
cool.
Yeah, it was really nice to do, really insightful. It really helped you to just wait for the good moment instead of just chasing them all. And really
that's
for sure.
That's so important, isn't it? Cool. And man, it's so interesting hearing about your thoughts behind both those images. So if people are listening now, do head to thisreportage.com, and I'll include both of those specific Reportage Awards that Phil just spoke about. It was awesome.
All right, thank you.
I've just looked down. It's like nearly, we're speaking for over an hour. I thought it was going to be about 45 minutes. Yeah, it's awesome. It's been so much fun. I know, it does fly, didn't it? It's so much fun, man, talking to you. I've really, really enjoyed it.
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah, it's been,
I have one more question.
Oh, you've got a question? Yeah, you can ask a question.
I've got one question. We've been talking about these story awards, and I've never won many story awards. You know, I've only won 3. But I wanted to ask you, did you know the other 2 are from the same wedding?
Oh, really? As well? No, I didn't know that. No, wow. So
I don't know if it was even allowed, but I wanted to ask you the whole time. But it's all different images. It's all different images from the same wedding. And
that's cool. I'm going to have to disqualify those now. And
that was one of the chances I could encounter. But I think it was quite funny. I was just testing it out actually because I had too many photos that I couldn't choose from, and then I just made 2 series. And I didn't know.
Cool. No, we don't have specific rules of like, you know, you can't submit 2 stories from the same wedding because from the same wedding because, you know, as you say, you included totally different images, and different stories happen at the same wedding as well. You can tell, you know, multiple stories from the same wedding. That's
the interesting side about it, isn't it? Yeah, you can make different stories of the same wedding, and I see it happen all the time when Sana went along on the wedding that I've shot. She won a story award actually as a second shooter.
As a second, really, yeah.
That's quite funny, but I like that.
No, it's totally valid. What wouldn't be valid is that if you just included virtually exactly the same images, but like they were just taken like 1 second afterwards or something from the exact same position, each image, if it was exact, you know, do you know what I mean? If like virtually exactly the same moment was in each image, but But other than that, no, it's all good.
Think about it, like every photographer at the exact same wedding, if everything was like a replica, like a theater almost, where every actor would do the exact same thing, you would just get different stories the whole time. And
Yeah.
I'm always really interested how that would roll out, actually, when there would be like a movie setup, and you send out like 10 photographers to the same scene, and then look at their images afterwards
It'd be
and
so
see how they
interesting.
captured it. That would be so cool. Yeah.
It really would, wouldn't it? It would be really, really cool to see how people capture them differently. Awesome, man. Yeah, and because it's been so good talking to you, because we didn't get to talk much really at Doc Day. We only had a slight conversation, I think. We didn't talk much, did we?
Oh, indeed. Yeah, just at the end of the party, I think we talked.
Well, so it's been really nice talking to you, even though it's taken months to nail you down for it.
Yeah. Almost like I've been dodging you on purpose, doesn't it? But yeah, talk again at Doc for sure next year, right?
Yes. Oh, that'd be great to see you again. Then we'll party then and have a cider.
Oh yeah.
Do you like cider? Do you drink cider?
Is that really a typical thing? It's made from. Is it made from apples?
That's right.
Yes.
Just no, it is apples. Yeah. Do you not have it much in Belgium, cider? Is it not a big thing?
I don't know. It's like we can buy it at the store, but I've never seen anyone buy it on purpose.
If the shop has no beer, then they'll get a cider. But I love it, man. It's
like, this is like apple juice. I don't know.
It's apple juice that makes you happy, though, to drink. Happy apple juice it is.
Happy apple juice. I like that. Is that your favorite drink then? Apple cider?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love it, man.
Okay,
what's your favorite drink?
Oh, that's a good question. I like red wine, but I also like beer. I know. And I also
like beer.
I don't know.
I literally don't like the taste of beer. I don't like it. Ooh.
No way. Wow. So you have been drinking apple cider the whole time at Dog Day, then? Or?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Love it, man.
Well, teach me all the secrets about apple cider next time.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll go on a tasting session. We'll do it. Okay, one last question, Fille, before I let you go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you eat the canapes?
The canapes?
Yeah. You know those little...
Canapes?
Canapes? You know the little kind of like the little finger food that they bring out like during the cocktail time? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Yeah, I consider myself one of the best friends of the couple at the wedding. So I'm like, yeah, I deserve these.
Yeah,
I'm working hard. Yeah, I need some fuel. I need some fuel to work harder. Come on.
I totally get that. Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, actually, the first maybe 10 weddings, I didn't probably, and then the bride and groom would come to me, hey, Philip, please. Take whatever you need. Please also take the canapes. Do I pronounce it correctly?
I don't know if I might say it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. So when they talked to me like that, the whole time everybody said the same, and I was like, okay, so I can do that. I can eat the canapes from now on at every wedding. So I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you got to do it. No, I do if I can. Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah. Try and Sometimes though, sometimes you get a waiter who like purposefully avoid me as a photographer or like tuck at us.
Oh yeah, they do that. Sometimes I also think, do they get like restrictions like? Please avoid the photographer. He's gonna eat them up. Sometimes like, oh, I'm gonna take a nice photo of this, and then I just eat it.
Yes, that's a good technique.
That's also a technique. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man. Oh, Fille, it's been so good talking to you. Really enjoyed it.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Really enjoyed it as well.
Man, thank you for being so open and honest and interesting, really interesting stories and great advice. It's just been, really awesome. As I said, if you're listening now, head to thisreportage.com and I'll include the 2 specific Reportage Awards and that story award as well that Fille spoke about. And awesome. Yeah. And hopefully, dude, I'll see you at Doc Day, if not sooner. Hopefully we'll be doing This Reportage and This Reportage family Christmas party in London, this December if you fancy it. But other than that, I'll see you in February.
Oh, yeah. I think we'll have to party double as hard, right? We missed 2020. So,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's do it. All right.
Cool, man. All the best for the season ahead.
All the best, man. Nice to talk to you.
And you.
See you next
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the 79th episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. Fille was so fab to chat to. Hope you enjoyed listening. Head to thisisreportage.com for a link to his website and to see the specific Reportage Award he talked about, the incredibly emotional and powerful story award we discussed, and some of his whale captures too. We have lots more episodes of the podcast available, where we speak to family and wedding photographers from all over the world, delve into our back catalogue to hear from the likes of Anna Puma, Marnix de Stichter, Patrick Lombard, Sovana Matcha, Katrin Kuhlenberg, Els Corsten, Emma Collins, Gretchen Yost, Ralu Chase, Ross Harvey, Philip Swiggers, and many, many more. If you're not yet a member of this reportage or this reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.